Have you ever wondered what it's like to build a website? I have a story recently that a friend asked me to help them out with a website. They had a WordPress website, which is a very popular content management platform, and their developer just appeared. They couldn't find them. And it was a really productive company that sold really high-end equipment, and they needed to get something up and running very, very quickly. And so it was an emergency. It was my friend. I felt like I should help them out. I fixed their website and converted it to a really robust static website. And this static website was hosted on AWS, and that had 9 nines reliability. What that means is that over the course of a year, it would have, let's say, 1 or 2 seconds of downtime, where the WordPress website had outages constantly. The plugins were corrupted or somebody hacked into it. And a little bit later, I got an emergency phone call, probably about 2 years later. And they said, Noah, I need you to come back and help us out. Our website's been hacked and we can't get into it anymore. And I thought, wow, that's not possible because this is a statically hosted website on AWS. You can't get more reliable. It's like a tank. It's like a Russian built tank. You can't destroy this thing. What happened? They said, oh, well, I decided I wanted to make it a little bit easier to develop. And so we hired another developer and we took your design and we converted it back to WordPress. And then about a month later, it got hacked and then now it's out. Can you help us out? I said, you know what? It sounds like you have a certain way you want to work and I'm going to just leave you on your own to fix this problem. So, really the moral of the story is that no good deed is left unpunished, as the saying goes. But I'm going to show you how to build 3 different kinds of websites in our situation so that if you're presented with a similar problem, you can decide whether you want to get involved. And we're going to do all of these different options. The first option is we're going to go through and do a static website. This is my personal recommendation, is if you deploy it on the AWS platform, you can have 9 nines reliability. So it's basically almost impossible for it to get hacked. Additionally, it can have, let's say, 1 or 2 seconds of downtime per year max, and it's a very reliable system. There's a second option, which is going to be a serverless technique, and that's going to be a function that is going to really emit out some HTML code. And this is a newer version of web development that eliminates a lot of the complexity. And then the third way is I'm going to show you how to spin up, I would call this an older technique, is spin up a server using a spot instance, install a web framework on top of there, and then allow us to build out a small web application. So really, you're going to have 3 different techniques that we're going to expose in here. And this should give you a very firm understanding of the basics of what's involved in doing web development in the modern cloud era.